You are listening to Artificial Evidence, where the algorithm knows. I am Owen Carver. In the fall of 1986, the town of Chestnut Ridge, Pennsylvania, became the backdrop for a case that left even the most seasoned investigators disturbed. A once prominent family, the Millers, vanished without a trace from their stately home on Red Hill. Their dinner table was set, their cars still in the driveway, their belongings untouched. At first, people thought they had simply left. A family dispute maybe, or money trouble. But then the bodies started turning up. One in a storm drain, one in a shallow grave by the highway, and one buried under the floorboards of their own home, each one killed in a different way, each one placed somewhere meant to be found. It was not a single crime, it was a performance, and someone out there wanted an audience. This is the story of the house on Red Hill. You are listening to Artificial Evidence, where the algorithm knows. I am Owen Carver. On a hot summer night in 1971, a quiet tavern on the edge of Tulsa, Oklahoma, became the site of one of the most brutal and perplexing crimes in state history. The Silver Dollar Saloon was a place for truckers, oil workers, and ranch hands to drink away the heat, play a few hands of poker, and disappear into the haze of cigarette smoke and jukebox tunes. But on the morning of June 10th, a bartender opened the doors to a scene that would haunt investigators for decades. 8 bodies. One locked safe, completely untouched, and a single silver dollar placed carefully in the center of the floor. The crime had all the markings of a robbery gone wrong, but there was something else, something colder, more deliberate. As investigators dug deeper, they realized this was no ordinary holdup. It was something much darker, and whoever was behind it had no intention of being caught. Chestnut Ridge was the kind of town where nothing really happened. A place of small diners, steel mills, and Friday night football. The Millers were a well-known family, their wealth coming from generations in the steel industry. They lived on Red Hill, a stretch of land just outside town, their house sitting on acres of old farmland. On the morning of October 6, 1986, a neighbor noticed something strange. The front door of the Miller house was wide open, not just unlocked, open. The morning paper sat untouched on the porch. Their dog, a golden retriever named Rusty, was tied to the back fence, whining and pacing. The neighbor knocked. No answer. He stepped inside. The dining room table was set, plates full of half-eaten food, glasses of wine still sitting untouched. A chair was tipped over. A faint smell of something metallic lingered in the air, but no one was home. The police were called, and what they found was unsettling. Everything was in place. Nothing missing. No signs of struggle, aside from the tipped-over chair. The Millers, father, mother, teenage son, and young daughter, were simply gone. The town talked. Maybe they had left in the night, maybe they had been taken. But for days, there was nothing. Then, 6 days later, the first body was found. A jogger spotted something strange in a storm drain 3 miles from Red Hill. A hand, pale, bloated, reaching up from the grate. It was Margaret Miller, the mother. She had been strangled. No defensive wounds, no sign of restraint, just a clean, precise act of killing. 2 weeks later, the son, David, was found buried in a shallow grave near a highway rest stop. He had been shot. 4 weeks later, the father, Peter Miller, was discovered beneath the floorboards of their own house, his body stuffed beneath the wooden planks in the basement. His throat had been slit. Only one person was missing. The youngest, Sarah Miller, just 8 years old. That was when the case took an even darker turn. Inside the Miller house, investigators found something chilling. A camera. It had been set up in the dining room, positioned toward the table. The tape inside had been removed, but the mere presence of the camera suggested something terrifying. Someone had been watching, recording. The town of Chestnut Ridge descended into fear. Who had done this? And why had they taken the girl? A week later, a tape arrived at the police station. No return address, no fingerprints, just a single VHS cassette. What was on it would haunt the lead detective for the rest of his life. The footage showed the Miller family at dinner, the night of their disappearance. The camera captured them in mid-conversation, laughing, drinking, a normal night. Then, at exactly 8:32 p.m., they all stopped. Someone had entered the room. They did not scream. They did not run. They just sat there, frozen. The figure in the doorway was wearing something strange, a mask made from what looked like burlap, stitched together with thick black thread. The tape cut to static, that was it. The police never found Sarah Miller. Theories flooded in. Was it a home invasion gone wrong? A planned execution? Or something worse, something personal? The most chilling part, the way each family member had been killed differently, like someone had been making a statement, as if they had been assigned different roles in a twisted play. Years passed, no arrests, no further clues. Then, in 1997, a second tape arrived. This time, it was sent to a local news station. It was old footage, grainy, but it was unmistakable. Sarah Miller, alive, sitting in a dark room staring at the camera. No expression, no words, just silence. The tape lasted exactly 4 minutes and 26 seconds before cutting to black. And then, nothing. No further tapes, no new leads, just an echo of a case that left more questions than answers. Did someone take her? Did she escape? And more importantly, was she still out there? The house on Red Hill was demolished in 2003, but the story? It never really left. Even today, people say that if you stand where the house once stood, in the quiet of an October night, you can hear it, the static, like an old recording playing, just beneath the wind. Thank you for listening to Artificial Evidence. If you want to support the show, be sure to like and subscribe. And remember, the algorithm knows.